Welcome to my wave review of the LEGO Star Wars June 2024 wave. This wave includes 5 sets, 10 minifigures, and 740 pieces. So, just like last time, I'll play my individual reviews of each of these sets, and then I'll give my overall thoughts for the wave. Welcome to my review of these 30685 LEGO Star Wars TIE Interceptor Polybag. Released in the year 2024, this set is branded under the 25th anniversary line of LEGO Star Wars sets, includes 48 pieces and 1 build. So here it is, and as you can see, it can't stand up. So obviously it's supposed to look like this, obviously when it's flying, but if you can't tell, it doesn't want to stand like that. Regardless, it is a very cool model in my opinion. On these sides we have the wings that are essentially the same build. 2 wedge plates, a grill plate, a 1x6 plate, and a little gun piece here at the end. I am almost dropping this thing. It's the same build for all 4 wings, just obviously reversed for the each side. At the front here we have the windshield cockpit. This is a new printed piece, and I think it looks good. Compared to the last one that we had, where the printing was on it was white, it was just kind of hard to see the printing on the piece. Nothing interesting going on in the back, no junk in the trunk. And I think the way they have the hinge plates connected here is pretty good. This is not like, these are not going to get moved out of place easily. These slopes here keep it in place, so, you know, they're not going to have weird shapes with this thing. It's going to keep its shape with the wings, which I think is nice. I think all around for a $5 polybag, I think the set's definitely a great one. All around, it's a nice build. I just wish, you know, obviously it would like be able to stand up. Outside of that, I love the build. It's definitely a great small little set. 10 out of 10. Well, actually, nah, more like a 9 out of 10. I don't know why I said that. It's more, I'd say like 8.5, 9 out of 10. Just, if only it could stand up. Welcome to the 75391 LEGO Star Wars Captain Rex Y-Wing Microfighter. Released in the year 2024, this set comes with 99 pieces, 1 very good minifigure, and 1 build. Now, obviously, the main reason people are going to be wanting to buy this set is because of the Captain Rex minifigure included. And not just because he's a Phase 2 Captain Rex, but because this is the same exact figure as the UCS Venator. Now, being that, he does come with his flaws, such as helmet holes, as well as the smaller detail of the ammo patch being way too big. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot to mention, printed waist cape. Now there are some good things about this figure. I think the helmet on him looks pretty good, along with the arm printing. However, there is the unfortunate downside of the shoulder pauldron being that it covers the entire arm. I guess I should have mentioned that in the flaws, but here we are. For an accessory, he comes with his 2 dual pistols, and all around I think he's a great figure. Now, a lot of people are probably not buying this set for the build. However, for a while now, people have been requesting for a Captain Rex's Y-Wing, or 501st Y-Wing, I should say. But what they probably didn't want was a microfighter version of it. Regardless, though, I think this still looks good, and I think it's probably the best of the 3 Y-Wings that we've gotten, or the 3 microfighter Y-Wings, I should say. There are some small details on this thing that I think look nice. The set does have stud shooters on it, but I think you can easily remove them and it won't affect the build too much. It won't leave any awkward gaps. And the build does look a lot better without them there. I just think it looks a lot sleeker. And you can obviously put Captain Rex inside of the Y-Wing. For $13, I think the Captain Rex's Y-Wing Microfighter is definitely a great buy for people to get that Captain Rex, or it's just a small set for a little kid. I think it works as both. Either way, I think it's a great set and definitely a great one for people who aren't able to get the UCS Venator. Although it definitely, I feel like a lot of resellers are going to be going after the set for the figure. So if you have the chance to pick it up, I would not waste it. This set is going to go fast. Welcome to review the 75390 LEGO Star Wars Luke Skywalker X-Wing Mech. Released in the year 2024, this set comes with 195 pieces, 1 minifigure, and 1 build. The minifigure we get in the set is Luke Skywalker. This is him in his pilot uniform, and let's talk about why people are mad about this. You see, released alongside this set was Captain Rex's Y-Wing, which included the Captain Rex figure from the UCS Venator, in a $13 set. People are pissed off because this Luke Skywalker is not the UCS Luke. However, released just a month ago on May 1st, was the Luke Skywalker keychain, which is the UCS Luke. However, it is as a keychain. But if you couldn't tell, the helmet, head, and torso are the exact same, meaning you can switch out the legs, or I should say also the hips are the same. You can switch out the legs and the arms from the keychain with the minifigure from this mech set. But that is too much work for me. Now, this figure itself, I think, is still a pretty great one. It does come with a double-sided head, the front side being just the goggles, and the back side being without the goggles. And for an accessory, he comes with a lightsaber. Alright, I'll say this figure is great, 10 out of 10. Now, for the build of the set, we get the X-Wing mech. Now, Star Wars mechs are a bit of a newer thing, and by far, I think the Luke Skywalker mech is the best. Now, I think what makes this mech so great is that the fact is, it's not just a big mech of what the character was wearing, but rather a vehicle they will drive. This one being the X-Wing mech. I think having it be an X-Wing way better than having it be just the pilot uniform. The detail on this thing is immaculate, head to toe. And I think the inclusion of the wings and the engines at the back was definitely a great one. If we go around to the back, you can actually remove this. Well, maybe. There we go. Only broke about 7 different things in the process. With the wings removed, you can now get a better look at them. It's a pretty simple build. Not much, not really different from what you'd see from a polybag. And you've already seen the engines before, but I'll show you them again. And these are attached on the back via Technic pins. Oh, I guess I should mention these wings are attached by ball joints. I probably should have mentioned that. Oh, and he's trying to do the splits now. In the right arm here, you will find a blaster with a stud shooter attached to it. And the arm is attached to the shoulder via a ball joint. And in the other arm, we have the lightsaber. Again, the arm is attached by the shoulder with a ball joint. He's trying to do the splits again. If you've watched any of my other mech reviews, then you know what time it is. It's time to put the minifigure inside the mech. Not much to it. It looks great, though. At the back, the lightsaber is attached by a clip on the engines. Oh, there's one other thing I forgot to mention. Underneath the right arm, you'll find a blaster, or a small blaster, attached by a clip. Don't know how I forgot about that. For being a Star Wars mech set, I was fairly not excited for this at first, until I saw the images. This thing blew my expectations out of the water. For that, it deserves a 10 out of 10. It is such a great set. It is the best of the four. This is now the best of the Star Wars mechs. I think my second favorite would be Stormtrooper. I'll do a separate video ranking all 4 of the mechs as a YouTube short. But yeah, I think this is definitely a great one. Highly recommend you pick it up if you have the chance. I don't know what else to say. It's a great set.
Welcome to RV 75373 LEGO Star Wars Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack. Released in the year 2024, this set comes with 109 pieces, 4 minifigures, and 1 build.
The first minifigures to be up here are the Mandalorian warriors. First up with the one we had on the right. Pretty basic, just some Mandalorian armor. He has the thick T-shape visor on his helmet. Meanwhile, the one we had on the left had a bit more of a thinner visor. The only other difference between the minifigures is the torso and legs. It's very hard to spot. I built these wrong the first time around, and then I looked at the instruction manual and saw I built them wrong. So I fixed them. But they have the exact same weapon, and also the exact same jetpack, and also the rangefinder and the helmet. Oh yeah, and in case you were wondering, all the minifigures have black heads underneath their helmets. Next up here we have the Imperial Commandos. I have to say, I think this is my favorite version of Imperial troops we've gotten. They've got a brand new helmet mold that, now that I look at it, I feel like this would be the perfect helmet for them to use for like a new Hunter figure from Bad Batch. Both figures are the exact same, down to the print on the torso. These Super Commandos use the smaller jetpack piece that requires a 1x1 attached to the back of it, and come with a medium-sized blaster for an accessory. All around, I think the minifigure section for this battle pack is pretty great, as you get to build out both sides of your army, as well as get pretty great minifigures too. Now, the battle pack does come with some awful side builds. We have the pretty basic turret with the stud shooter, and a random crate that won't even focus. And if you were wondering, there's a thermal detonator inside of the crate. Here we have the build of the set,
which of course is from the end of Mandalorian Season 3. I think it's some pretty cool detailed rock work. And around back we have a long rifle attached by a clip. Now obviously we can talk about the elephant in the room right here, which is obviously the big clear stick sticking out from the build. And this is of course for you to attach minifigures onto it to give the illusion that they're flying with their jetpack.
Oh, they fly now! They fly now! They fly now!
And this whole contraption is just a couple of Technic pieces attached by a ball joint right here. And there's a bit sticking out at the end, which I guess you could use to move the guy around and fight. I don't know. Now, what I feel like is the coolest feature of the set is found right here and here. And that is obviously for you to be able to attach it to its companion set, which is advertised in the back of the instruction manual right here, where it shows you that you can combine the battle pack with the Vizla versus Moff Gideon. As well as you can also combine it with a second battle pack to obviously expand the build and build out your army. I'll have a separate video where I combine these sets together. It should be coming out, I don't know, hopefully soon. So for $20, is the Ambush on Mandalore battle pack worth its money? I think, yes, you're getting a good battle pack here. Not only in the sense of good minifigures, you're getting good quality minifigures that you're going to want to army build, as well as you're getting a very great build that obviously works really well with a set which could impulse you to buy its companion set, or buy more of this set so you can combine them. All around, while it's not the best battle pack, it's not perfect, I think it is still a good battle pack. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Welcome to my review of the 75386 LEGO Star Wars Paz Vizla and Moff Gideon Battle. Released in the year 2024, the set comes with 289 pieces, 4 minifigures, and 1 build. The first minifigure up here is Paz Vizla. Now, compared to the last version we got of him, there's a few differences, but it's mostly the same. Looking at them dead on, you can tell the helmet print on the newer one is a bit better, just being a little bit more lined up. Something I noticed, just a bit more crisp, you know. I think the new helmet looks better, as well as the new helmet has printing on the side, and the other difference being that there's no 1x2 clip attached to the jetpack for the gun. Outside of that, the torso, legs, and chest plate are the exact same, and as with most Mandalorian minifigures, there is no face underneath, just a black head. Now, the weapon he carries is a bit interesting. It's different from the last one. I think it's a cool, small little build. And obviously, it's accurate to what he was carrying in those final episodes of Mandalorian Season 3. All around, I think it's a great figure. The next minifigure we have up here is Moff Gideon. Now, this is obviously in his Mandalorian armor from the ending of Season 3. Now, obviously, the main complaint people are having with this figure is that he has no cape. Now, if we turn the figure around here, he does have his jetpack, and that is why he doesn't have a cape, because with LEGO minifigures, they usually only do one neck attachment. They usually wouldn't do a cape and a jetpack, which is why in the past when we got Mandalorian figures, there'd be 2 versions, one with the cape and one with the jetpack. There's also a hairpiece included that you can attach to the head underneath the helmet, in which when you do, you get Gustavo.
But you can call me Gus.
And yes, he does have a second facial expression for those of you who are wondering. Focusing on that jetpack again, it does have a 1x1 printed tile attached to it. One thing I'll point out that is pretty nice is the helmet. Now, when images of this set leaked, I and many others thought that this was going to be the exact same helmet as the Mandalorian armor and the Darth Maul commandos that we got in 2021. But alas, here he is with a brand new helmet mold, in which I do think it looks very great. I think it's a great minifigure, but just the lack of no accessory does kind of drag the minifigure down for me a little bit. I feel like an accessory would have been nice for him. I'm not too bummed out about the cape thing, but it would have been nice to see him have some sort of accessory. Just having nothing seems a little lame. Last up here we have the Imperial Praetorian Guards, and well, like, the new helmet's cool. It does look a little weird, but I think it's cool. Torso's fine, but just the legs aren't it. I don't think the legs work with this. I feel like the skirt piece, which they used on the previous Praetorian Guards, or even just a waist cape, would have been a little bit better than just regular legs. It doesn't fit. I think the weapons are pretty cool, and the helmets are pretty cool. Outside of that, I don't know. Oh yeah, for those of you who are wondering, underneath there are red heads instead of the normal black ones we find underneath, which I think works really good as it blends the head and the helmet together when you're looking from the behind. You can't really see it that well, but there's very little gap, but in the gap that you can see, it does fill it pretty well, not just have a random color underneath there. I bumped the tripod. Now, I think the build of this set is pretty great. Now, this is obviously the gate to the Imperial base. I think it's an okay build. My one complaint is with the door. So if we flip the build around to the back, you'll see that there's a little mixel joint knob here sticking out from the top of the door. And this is obviously so you can pull the door up and open. And back here, there is a little mechanism to help hold the door up. My complaint? The mechanism isn't needed. Now, I don't know why, but something about the friction with these pieces, the door holds itself up, and the play feature where you lifting this knob is supposed to drop the door doesn't work. You have to, like, push it. You have to push it down yourself. It's not a great... What could be a great play feature is ruined by friction. Moving along, around on the left or right, depending on which side of the build you're looking at, to the door, we have a little cavern in here, right below the turret. Not much in here, but there is a small computer screen. And on the screen, we have some Orbesh, as well as the Imperial Light Cruiser, which was in the scene in Mandalorian Season 3. Moving the build along here, we have one of the rock pieces, as well as we have a crate right here. And if we remove the crate here, you'll find a thermal detonator inside, like the one from the battle pack. At the top here, we have two 1x6 tiles with stickers on them representing some lights. And while it's kind of hard to see on camera, and also underneath here, there's lights on these wedge pieces right in front of the door. Now, my main issue I have with them is that the stickers are just the complete wrong color. I'm sorry. Let me try and pull this out. So I don't know how well you can see that there, but the gray of the sticker just does not match the piece. It just looks yellowed. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just my sticker sheet, if it's this way in all LEGO sets. I don't know. Now I gotta surgically put this thing back in here. Okay, that was easier than I thought. Right here we have a 1x2 printed tile, just for the control panel. And off to the side here we have a light. Then coming back around to the other side, we have the turret on top of the build. This can spin in all directions, full 360, and has a spot for you to sit your minifigure. At the front here, we have a 2x2 jumper, in which you can put your Vizla figure, and have him fighting off against the Praetorian Guards. Now, by far, one of the cooler features of this set is right here and here, which are spots for you to attach this to its companion set, which is the battle pack, which is shown in the back of the instruction manual. I will have a separate video coming out soon, I hope, where I'll be doing different combinations between the two sets. For $40, is this set worth its money? No. I feel like it's a bit overpriced at $40. I feel like maybe $30, $35 at max would have been the great price range for this set. I feel like at $40 doesn't quite fully meet my expectations and criteria. Regardless, I still think it's a very cool set, getting 3 new exclusive minifigures in this set, and obviously a updated version of a previous one. All around, I liked the set, just it feels a little overpriced for me. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Overall, I think the minifigure selection for this wave is pretty good. Most of the minifigures obviously being from the Mandalorian Season 3 side of the wave, with our two exceptions being Captain Rex and Luke Skywalker. I mean, there's controversy between both of them. Why are we getting the Captain Rex from the UCS Venator in a $13 set, but not the Luke Skywalker from the UCS X-Wing in a $15 set. Not going to get into that too much. Luke Skywalker, he's a good figure. Just buy the keychain, trade out the arms and legs. Captain Rex, it's a good bad situation. Good for people who didn't buy the vendor, but also bad because people who did buy the vendor are now mad. And also, it's impossible to find the set anywhere now because of scalpers. Good job, LEGO. All around, I'll give the minifigure selection for this wave. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's not the best we've gotten from a wave, but it's still pretty good selection overall. Overall, for being a small wave released in June before the big wave in August, I think it was pretty great, and obviously these sets were rumored to be releasing in August originally, so being released in June early, which is pretty nice. There's very few problems with this wave I see. I mean, we have the Mandalorian sets that are pretty good companion sets, the Rex Y-Wing, which is debatable, the best LEGO Star Wars mech we've had, and then the Polybag, which can't actually stand up on its own. If you look closely, I have a piece that's helping it stand. It's basically on crutches right now. So that's my wave review of the LEGO Star Wars June 2024 wave of sets. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're around here. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video. And until next time, bye.